The WEG CFW300 drive defaults to local mode. What if you want it to default to remote mode? Well, we'll show you how to do that in this video, but first, let's reset the drive to factory default so we're all starting at the same place. If we look at parameter 220, which is the parameter that selects how local and remote modes are selected, we see it defaults to always local. To force it into remote mode, you simply set it to a 1. I'm using this free WPS software as a quick lookup guide here. It's not connected to the drive. So let's use the drive's built-in HMI keypad to set parameter 220 to a 1 to get us into remote mode. Now the drive will power up in remote mode, and if you don't change the other factory defaults, that means you'll no longer be able to start the drive from the HMI keypad. Why is that? Well, because the remote configuration defaults to run stop being controlled by a digital input, not the drive's HMI keypad. And the reference frequency defaults to being controlled by an analog input, again, not the drive's built-in HMI keypad. I have this potentiometer wired to the drive's analog input, and this switch connected to digital input 1, which if we look at parameter 263, we see it defaults to run stop control, exactly what we want. So if I flip the switch to run and vary the potentiometer, sure enough, the drive responds. And since all the parameter values we needed were the factory default values, we didn't have to change any parameters after we changed to remote mode to use this digital and analog input. Now, could we change remote mode's run stop and frequency control to be controlled by the drive's HMI keypad? Well, sure. If I bring up the free WPS software and search for remote, I see that remote run stop is controlled by parameter 227, and to change it to being controlled by the HMI, I just need to change it to a 0. I also see the remote reference frequency source is controlled by parameter 222, and that a 0 will change that to HMI control. So we need to change both of these to a 0. Again, I'm just using the free WPS software as a quick way to look up parameters, so let's go over to the drive, scroll to parameter 222, and change it to a 0. Then scroll to parameter 227 and change it to a 0. Now I'm still in remote mode, we haven't changed that, but now we can control the drive from the keypad, and if we scroll all the way down to parameter 2, which is the frequency for the drive, we can change the frequency from the keypad. And we can't control the drive from the digital input or the analog input. Exactly what we expect. Perfect. Now, one side note. I didn't need to change the motor parameters for this video, but you will need to do that. So here are the basic parameters you'll probably want to take a look at. Check out the quick start videos to learn more about getting up and running with the basic parameters. And here's a list of the parameters we used in this video. Click here to learn more about the WEG CFW300 variable frequency drive. Click here to learn about Automation Direct's free award-winning support options, and click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll be notified when we publish new videos.